Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Feast your eyes and digest. I don't think that it can get much better than that. That's the view of the blue Mediterranean Sea, and we're going to go along the road past Rikkos Beach. That's where we're actually starting. We're going to go along past Adonis Avenue. So you and me, that's the hotel's road, and you're going to get to spot one or two of the beachside hotels that perhaps you may be staying in, or perhaps you've stayed in the past, or perhaps you're considering to stay in. So be eagle-eyed, and you might catch the names, and I might even name one or two. It's the kind of view, by the way, that I think takes your breath away. So you've just tuned in and you're seeing this for a view. Perhaps you're in a slightly chillier environment somewhere in Northern Europe, and hopefully it's going to bring a chuckle and a smile to your face. Forgive the road surfaces, they're absolutely Sherlock Holmes. So in Cyprus we don't have very good roads, but we do have very good weather indeed, and a truly spectacular thing called the blue Mediterranean Sea. Now the girls in the Breakfast Club are raring to go. Who are they? That's Miss Vivian, superstar amongst superstars, and of course her partner in crime, Miss Nessie. So these are the girls that are in charge of cooking up a frenzy in the kitchen, getting the pancakes going. That's a little shout out there for Mr. Mart then. I'm sure he'll have a chuckle when he hears that, when he comes home having his tea tonight, that's for sure. Have you got peacocks still in your country, Mr. Mart? Anyway, there we go. That's a little inside joke. When you come and you meet us off camera, if you ask us, we'll explain it to you. It's something to do with Miss Otching, with Sylvia Labooth. That's Miss Marika's mispronunciation of her English, a bit like Norfolk and Suffolk and Wellfolk. Anyway, there we go. We're a family channel, remember. So, Lady oh so sweet Caroline, get yourself a memory foam cushion, because the road surfaces, I'm sure you understand by now, in and around downtown Paphos are absolutely Sherlock Holmes. So before you drop your jupper on the pillow, just pour one or two glasses for my mate Mr. Nigel Big Guns. Well, he's a lord actually, Lord Nigel Big Guns. He'll be drunk as a lord, that's for sure, very soon. And in charge of helping the girls in the kitchen, we got two twins, double trouble, my Gumbarus, my partners, my friends in crime, and of course they are Sir Simon. Well, he's a lord now, he's actually a Lord Simon, and of course Lord Jeremy. They've been promoted by the one and only Dame Anne. She's the girl in charge of all of the promotions and all of the goings on in the kitchen. She has her very own sofa, and she likes to lounge there, a bit of gluten-free this and a bit of gluten-free that, and a nice cup of tea in a bone china cup with a bone china saucer. And of course on each arm of her sofa she has, well, a couple of porn stars. That's what she has. She has the Viking Ronnie, all the way from Israel, who now lives in downtown Denmark. He's sitting on her left side and he's having a sip of his filter coffee as he tastes his malted toast. And on her right hand side there's the other Ronnie, and all the way from Scotland, that's Mr. Ronnie Miller, and he likes to have a cup of chai just like Dame Anne, and he likes to have a rich tea biscuit with it. So come on, Double Trouble, get serving, because next door to that sofa is Mr. Allen, and he's flicking on his treadmill and he's starting to get up a bit of a sweat in his blue mankini, his Marika and me t-shirt and his Marika and me baseball cap, and he wants a cupcake or two. And of course next door to him, Sally Breyer, she is peddling the life out of the bike and she wants a cupcake too. Now, talking about cupcakes, we're having special cupcakes made for some very special people. My cuz James, he's actually a king, and he's got a queen of a wife, and her name is Karine, and they've got a daughter. And of course, if you're a king and you're a queen and you have a daughter, well, that must mean that you have a princess, and her name is Princess Dali. There we are. And she likes to have a special cupcake. So today, Princess Dali, your cupcake is a red velvet cupcake with a little dollop of New York cheesecake on the very top, made especially for you by the one and only superstar Miss Vivian, and plated up and presented extraordinarily well by the Miss Nessie, and delivered hopefully by the boys Lord and Lord Jeremy and Simon. So sit back, and relax and enjoy the drive. We're on the Passidonis Avenue, Hotels Road to you and me, and slowly but surely we are transgressing towards the promenade area. We're going to wiggle around the rear end of it because, of course, we can't drive down it anymore because, of course, they've pedestrianised it, which is a good thing. You haven't got to worry about cars running you over. All you've got to worry about now is me and Miss Hotching Receiver booth whizzing up and down on scooters. And, of course, there's a lot of other people doing that as well. If you want one of them scooters, by the way, there's various kiosks along this road that rent them. And, of course, if you go to the harbour, to where the harbour meets the promenade, and take a right and wiggle back a little bit towards the Mall Road, if you understand me, Miss Maria is there, and they're all parked up outside, and you can cut a deal with her, that's for sure. So now we're coming towards the area known to us locals as the Triangle. So we're going to include this parade of shops here, well, restaurants actually. You've got Tea for Two downstairs, you've got the Gabor French one upstairs, you've got the Cavallini restaurant, which again Miss Vivian likes, you've got the Rib Shack, very, very popular restaurants indeed, and you've got another Italian restaurant down the side of it, and you've got a Chinese restaurant, which I'm not even going to try and say above it. All great restaurants indeed. Over there now to our right, that is the Triangle. Again, restaurants, bars. There used to be a Bank of Cyprus, but not anymore. Oh, pothole. Wow, that was a big pothole there. Dizzy Blonde, did you feel that one when you were whizzing down the M62 in the rush hour? Huh? Well, we're in gridlock at this. I'm being held up. I want to go a bit faster. I'm only doing 35 kilometres an hour, and the speed along here is 50. So that means we're allowed to do 70 before the boys in blue. What's he doing now? If you look very carefully, you can see he's fiddling in his footwell. He's obviously dropped a bit of pork kebab, or perhaps his mobile phone. More likely his mobile phone. Now, this hotel coming up on the left, every time I pass it, I always think of one man, and that man is Joe Cox. I always think of Joe Cox, all the way out in Manchester. They came out and partied in this hotel in December, and he brought his beautiful wife, Miss Julie, and the sister came along, Miss Kath. It was her 50th birthday, and she brought her partner in crime, Mr. Colin, along, and it was his 53rd birthday. So he's 53 years young, that's for sure. And they're going to come back and do it again in December, and hopefully we're going to get them on camera. We'll get them chuchka dancing down the downtown Paphos promenade. The next hotel on the left doesn't need much of an introduction. That is the hotel known as the Great, Alexander the Great to be precise. Normally, oh so sweet Caroline and Lord Nigel check in there, but not this time. They're going to the Olympic Lagoon, but we'll let them off. You never know, they might throw them out. And often you get to meet Miss Fiona and Miss Rob because they check in there. Nessie and Andrew, they like to check in there. Nessie's the girl in the kitchen, by the way, if you're curious to know. And Nessie and Andrew have also got their own YouTube channel, so go and hunt them down, Ness and Andy's UK Travels, and you're going to find them wiggling and waggling in the Shropshire lanes, and now and again, because Nessie wants to practice her Welsh, her Siarad Cymraeg, she pops over across the Welsh borders and has a cup of tea in downtown Ruthin, which is where I'm from. Talking about YouTubers, by the way, Andrew and Mart, they were in Paphos last week. We had a bit of fun and games with them, and of course they've got their own channel as well, so go and hunt them down, Andrea and Mart, in the YouTube search bar, and they're wiggling and waggling in the lanes of Norfolk. And Mart's got a great knowledge of Norwich when they pop in there as well, and now and again Miss Andrea pops in with a little piece of absolute rubbish like me. There we are. Star amongst stars, by the way. I think the world of them both. I really, really do. We are friends for life, that's for sure. That's the Paphos promenade, if you're curious. We can't drive it down because it's closed off. There's the Brinks. Perhaps we should do the Brinks bat robbery. You never know. They might have a couple of bob in that van. I'll come back later with the balaclava and my mallet. What do you think of that, Lord Simon, Lord Jeremy? You're a bit quiet at the moment, these boys. I think they've defected, by the way. They've defected, and they're now watching Ness and Andy. Yes, they are. Driving around the Shropshire Dales, shall we say. Anyway, bit of building going on here. There's some luxury apartments being built on my right-hand side. So if you want a bolt hole in downtown Paphos, that could be the special place for you. So we're wiggling to the rear of the Paphos promenade at the moment. But don't worry, we'll get back to the harbour and you're going to get a spectacular view in a moment. Now, I was sidetracked, but I was talking about the Alexander the Great Hotel. There's lots of people who like to check in there. The one and only Dame Anne, the one in charge of the channel, you know the one I'm talking about, she likes to hang out there twice a year, top floor, spectacular view across the blue Mediterranean Sea as she watches the sunset in the sky. And of course some superstars more recently that stayed there. Well, place in our heart, that's for sure. Sir Richard, Miss Julie Nash, and of course my little mate, well he's not that little actually, Mr. Leo, my mate Leo, the man who likes to have the Oreo ice cream, that man, yes. Well, they hung out there for a week and we had some fun and games and some, well, chin wagging and all those kind of things, and we're hoping they're going to come back in the summer, and if they do, well, this time we're going to get them on camera, that's for sure. So a big shout out to you guys. And if you want to know how the channel's funded, by the way, on that note, go through to our About page, click on the Buy Me a Coffee, and why not buy us a coffee too? That's how it works. We'll put that into liquid cash, coffee sometimes to keep us awake, and benzene, petrol to keep us driving around, to keep these special videos coming for you. Now, talking about Richard and Julie and my mate Leo, they got a great friend, and he's a friend of ours now, Sean Broad, superstar amongst superstars. He's now retired as a mechanic and a body shop man, but I think he was a very good one indeed, because now he's looking to buy a very big boat indeed. He's already got one boat in the UK and now he wants another boat in downtown Cyprus, so he's obviously got a couple, a bob or two. We'll let these people cross, why not? They didn't thank us, but well, they're looking a bit glum. There we go. Perhaps they're lost in downtown paradise. So, as you can see, there's improvements going on everywhere. They're repairing some of the loose cobbles and that kind of thing. And now I'm going to say thanks for watching. And if you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Come back for a little bit more of our madness. Two final hellos. Anna Star, all the way out in Poland. Big hello to you. Good morning to you. And of course, my favourite partner in crime, Miss Lubika, all the way out in Warwickshire. A very good morning to you. Thanks for watching. This is the road that takes you up to the Mall, if you've forgotten, Mr. Allen. And they've been filling in one or two potholes. It looks a mess, but it's a little bit smoother. But only a little. Thanks for watching.